All right, welcome back to the Brown Balls podcast, post Super Bowl edition. Kenil, how you doing, man? You're at work.
I am in DC, the district, bro.
DC, man. Holy moly, it's midnight at your time right now. It's crazy.
Yes, sir, man. Dedication, bro. Gotta get this
Dedication
in,
to the craft. Here we go. Super Bowl. I mean,
Let's
the
get
final
into
score
it.
was 40
Let's get
to
into it.
22, but it really was not 40-20. It was actually 40-6. Complete blowout. What are your thoughts, man?
Wow.
You had a three-peat.
Bro, I mean, I am shocked, to be honest with you. I don't know where to start. You know, I felt like Nick Fangio, the defensive coordinator, right, from Eagles.
Yeah.
I think he called up, what's the coach from Tampa? Tampa Bay.
Todd Bowles?
Yeah, I think he called it Todd Bowles because Todd Bowles is the one who put up that defensive effort in Super Bowl. I think he was defensive coordinator, right? Wasn't he defensive coordinator?
Yeah, he
when
was.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I think they talked because if you look at the scheme, if you look at the game plan, if you look at what they did, they studied Casey's offense like no other, right?
Mm-hmm.
This looked like literally exact same game as Super Bowl. What was it, 55 or something? 50, yeah, right when Tampa played Casey. Same shit, man. Mahomes had no chance to throw, and like none of the receivers getting open. Literally looked like shell shocked, dude. Like the way Tampa played that defense and held them to 3 points. Like the first 3 quarters before Mahomes kind of just went off and Eagles didn't care about it. First 3 quarters, like did you think that was like a la same game as Tampa Bay, man? Yeah. I mean, you know that game really well because your boy played in that game. I mean, they really just shut down Mahomes, like the whole entire offense, man. I mean, I was just shocked, man. I have nothing to say about this, man.
Pretty much when it was 10-0, you're like, okay, this is interesting, right? Then they go 3-0 right after that, and you're like, that was weird. When it's 10-0, you think Mahomes be like, all right, we gotta get it, we gotta get something, we gotta get a score, let's get the ball rolling, and then they go 3-0 right away. And then they had the pick 6 before the end of the half. When pick 6 happened, you're like, this team has no chance, dude. Mahomes is not getting anything from his offensive line, and they didn't even blitz. It's always just 4 rush.
No blitz, man. 4-man rush.
Even then,
4-man rush.
And even then, he got sacked 6 times, which is crazy. And a 4-man rush, imagine that.
No blitz. Like, I don't know what. Like did the offensive line just give up on him, or what was the case?
So
like,
apparently, they said the offensive line has been shaky the whole year. Right, they moved two
not
needs.
this bad, man. I mean, there's no way you can do this.
Yeah, for sure. But like, I think their defense was carrying them throughout most of the season. Right? Whatever games they won, it was
they stopped the run.
Yeah, they stopped Saquon for sure. They got that job done.
Like literally, they stopped the run, but they let Jalen Hurts go off.
Yeah,
which is fine. Which is fine. Let him go off. No big deal. That's not gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
But he wasn't throwing the ball either.
Yeah.
You know, Mahomes, like, he couldn't keep up with them. Like,
yeah. No, it was not even, I wouldn't even blame Kansas City's defense, honestly. Pick 6, then the interception in the Eagles end zone, essentially, that Mahomes threw, and then the fumble. Essentially, 21 points, if you take that away, were given to the Eagles by Mahomes himself. So, like, you know, technically, it should have been a 22-21 game, something like that.
Sure.
Right. So, like, I don't blame necessarily. I mean, obviously, when you put up 40 points on a defense, there's blame to go around. But like, Mahomes just completely just shelled himself this whole game. You could tell he was just scared. He's like, "What am I gonna do? I'm getting rushed by 4 guys, and I can't get anywhere."
You know, it's funny, man. When the halftime was 24-zip, right? And you know, the GOAT was the color commentator, right? Brady. Yeah. I really thought he was going to do what Brady did in Super Bowl in 2017 or whatever that was against Atlanta, because Brady was down 23, right?
Yeah.
They're down 25 points in the third quarter. And so I really thought that he was going to actually just one-up him and come back from behind. I legitimately thought, dude, being down 24-zip, I really thought Mahomes was still going to come back. That's how I'm shocked, because, like,
you know, honestly, I would give Mahomes this, right? If he came back from that 24, whatever it was, 24-0 from the half and came back to win the game, the whole GOAT conversation would have been like, oh my God, Mahomes is a GOAT three-peat. Plus, you come down from 24-0. Like, the script could not have been better for him.
Exactly. I really
But
thought
then
that
they
was going to
come
happen.
out in the third quarter and 3 and out right away. You're like, yep, oh, this is game over.
You want to hear a crazy stat, man? So at halftime, it was 24-0.
Mm-hmm.
How much? Take a guess. How many yardage
I think it's fun.
this KC offense had at the
23
half?
yards.
No.
Total.
Is there a final guess?
Yeah.
14.
Wasn't it? Huh?
14.
14. Oh, okay. With all the sacks and everything.
No, Mahomes throwing. Don't worry about the run game was a no-show. 14 total yards was gained in that first half by Mahomes. Billy scored 24 points.
Yeah.
Imagine
crazy.
that. They only gained 14 yardage, man. That's it. In the first half. I don't know what Philly did. I'm telling you. They couldn't win. Okay, I understand that. Okay, you know what I'm so surprised about is that when this happened against Brady, I was like, fine, he'll learn from this. And he did. He won back-to-back Super Bowls, you know? He did. But why would you let it happen again? Like, you know, Mahomes in that one level where Brady, Peyton Manning, Breeze, and, you know, like, they are in, like, where if it's not going your way, you figure shit out.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, figure shit out. Meaning, like, do a short pass your receiver or running back, like, just something. Do something, like, where, I understand you only have 1 second to throw. Do something about it, man. Like, change the game plan up. Like, what are you doing? Like, stop staying in the pocket, you know?
Would you blame Andy Reid for any of that, though? Because
yes,
I mean, 100%. They come out in third quarter and they were just the same.
100%.
The offense looked the same. There was no new schemes that the offensive coordinator had built up. And they weren't even trying to run the ball. I mean, they have all the weapons that they were out with the whole year were back, right? Like, Pacheco was injured in the second week, and then he's back. Kareem Hunt is healthy. Everyone's back. So, like, you have your full offense. There's no excuses for not having anybody out there.
And that's what, and that's why I'm so shocked that, like, why? How come they didn't change it up? Like, they know what Eagles were doing, right? Eagles were not blitzing. They're having this 4-man rush, and their 4-man rush, man, they're playing their ass off. They're, like, getting after them, dude. Like, I was like, God dang, why not? Why not do a slip pass to, you know, Kareem Hunt or Pacheco, you know, like, or like something, you know, you're not gonna have time to throw. Let that open up for you, you know, do something about it. I mean, I don't know, man. I was so shocked with this game. You have no idea that they contain Casey's offense like this. I mean, Travis Kelsey said that we had a bad day. We didn't play well. This is the worst we played. No, man, this is a Super Bowl. What are you talking about? What do you mean this is the worst you played? Like, you shouldn't be saying this in Super Bowl, man.
Travis Kelsey was a no-show in this game.
Exactly.
I mean, he had 4 catches, 39 yards, nothing.
But that doesn't matter. That was like in the fourth quarter when he had backups in. The Eagles already had backups in there. You know, so, like, even
already had a
even Worthy's catch in the fourth quarter, that's nothing.
Yeah,
to be honest. It was backups. Like, dude, nobody cares, you know? So, I don't know, man. Like,
this was a dismantling, dude. This was honestly potentially dynasty breaking kind of loss, right? Because now, like, how do you come back from this? Like, if you were the Chiefs, right? You lost a close game. You're like, all right, you know what? We were almost there. But the Eagles just completely dominated you. You're not even in their same level as essentially what they're saying. So, like, I mean, why would Kelsey want to come back? Why would Andy Reid is also getting old too? Why would he want to come back? And then that's when Mahomes will really be tested to see if he is the best quarterback in the league. Because what do you do without Kelsey and potentially Andy Reid? Because Andy Reid has also
definitely with Andy Reid, man. Yeah, I agree with you. And then I was thinking while this game was going on, right? Just curious thinking, what is Bills thinking right now? What is Lamar Jackson thinking? Bills can't even beat this team. And here you're seeing Eagles defense. Because, like, Bills have a good defense, man. Like, Sean Dermott, like, he's a defensive-minded coach.
Yeah.
And here Nick Fangio is making circles around everyone.
Yeah.
And, like, what is Bills thinking right now?
Yeah.
What are you
honestly,
doing?
I think if it was the Bills against the Eagles, that's a tougher matchup for the Eagles. Because Josh Allen is a much physical quarterback. He can run. He can get out of the 4-man rush that they were trying to do.
100%, man.
But, like, yeah, I mean, honestly, the Eagles just look like a step above any other team out there. Like I haven't seen this impressive performance by anybody. Throughout the whole playoffs, like Eagles haven't been tested. They got the easiest road to the Super Bowl. They beat the Rams and they beat the Packers and then they beat the Commanders to get to it. Right, like all these teams are good but not great. They didn't beat the Lions. They didn't beat Minnesota. But like the way they looked here, I'm like, even if they play against the Lions, I don't think they would have decimated the Lions. Jared Goff against this 4-man rush, they would have been like,
Dude,
it would have been, like lights out.
they made that guy Jalen. What's his name? The defensive back for them, the D line from Eagles. What's his name? Man? Jalen.
Oh, Jalen Carter.
And Carter, man, that guy looked like freaking Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude? Like what? He was crazy, unstoppable, dude. Man. Like I was like, God dang. I don't know, man.
You? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I lost you. But yeah, man. On the Eagles side, though, impressive, man. Impressive all around. I mean, I already gave my flowers to Sirianni, right? In the previous one, he made a Super Bowl. I gave him his flowers. So I'm all about it. I think it's time for you to give your flowers to him because you said you will do it after he wins. So I'll hand you the floor.
All right, man. I want to say I'm wrong to all the Eagles, Eagles Nation. Fly, Eagles, fly, like they always say, man. Fly, Eagles, fly. Look, I was wrong about Nick Sirianni, man. I mean, look, he came through in the big moment. He choked 2 years ago. He played. Mm-hmm. He had his group ready. He seemed what he said during the pregame because Aaron Andrews asked him, "What's the difference between the first Super Bowl versus this Super Bowl? You had tears in the national anthem last time. What was going through your mind? What's the difference?" He's like, "Well, last time we were hungry to be in the Super Bowl and in the game." And he's like, "This time I'm starving." That's what he said. Terry, I'm starving. And they played. That team played. They wanted this more.
Oh, yeah.
And Chiefs played it as taking it as a granted, meaning that we're in it. We're going to win this. Let's turn the switch on. Let's go. I have to give all the props to Sirianni to get this group ready. But honestly, one of my coworkers who's a big Eagles guy. I haven't talked to our friend yet, but one of my colleagues is a big Eagles fan. I will say that the flowers should go more to Nick Fangio.
Yeah, for sure.
Than Sirianni. Sirianni got the group ready mentally because look, AJ Brown performed. Devontae Smith performed. Dawson performed. They were there. They performed. They caught those long passes. They're ready to go. Jalen Hurts was ready, Look, man, Sirianni got that group ready to play for that day. But Nick Fangio called the right plays in defense. Yeah. I saw this. I saw some stat that Nick Fangio was 0-12 versus Pat Mahomes or something. 0-11 or something, whatever the case is. And he couldn't just get over the hump, and he did. I mean, look, I'm happy. Honestly, let me tell you this, man. As much as I didn't like the Eagles or Nick Sirianni, look, Nick Sirianni secured his job. We talked about this in our podcast too. What's gonna save his job is to win the Super Bowl. Not even make it a Super Bowl, to win the Super Bowl. And he did. He saved his job for sure for a couple more years because you can't really say for a while because, what's his name? Who won in 2017 against your Pats. He got fired within 3 years, Peterson, and so you can't say he's going to be longer because Eagles fans will turn on him, if they stop performing. But man, honestly, I was happy for one guy who won the Super Bowl, man, and it's not Saquon. The one guy I was really happy for, man, is Jalen Hurts because I started getting into college football, man. Like a little while ago, right? Back in like 2017 era, 18. And I remember watching, this national championship game, right? Back then, I forget exactly what year. I started watching this national championship game for Alabama, right? Because Saban was everything, The starting QB who started that game was Jalen Hurts for Alabama. And I don't know what Saban was thinking, but in the second, I think it was like in second half, around third quarter, fourth quarter, he took his starting quarterback out. That doesn't really happen in the national championship game because Jalen Hurts played for Alabama, a prestige college, and Nick Saban took him out and put in Tua at the time. Tua was highly recruited. So he was more of a mobile QB, and he won the game in the overtime for them. Ever since then, Jalen Hurts was basically done with Alabama. I think he transferred to Oklahoma, or I don't know where he went. He went somewhere.
You got pissed, yeah.
And the thing was this, man. Jalen Hurts was coming out of a prestige college where he was a starting QB, got benched in national championship for Tua. And Tua took off, obviously. The rest is history in Alabama with Tua. I think Jalen Hurts transferred, and he ended up, I think, winning a national championship versus Alabama later on that time, too, I think. And then he gets drafted, with Eagles. Eagles at the time already had a starting QB, Wentz, right?
Carson Wentz.
So I followed Jalen Hurts like dearly. And I remember when he got benched and he moved on from Alabama, went to a different college and played and won, and then got drafted by the Eagles. So it's kind of funny because I followed Jalen Hurts. So, and when he got drafted by the Eagles and like he got the starting position, and everyone said that he can't throw, he can't do this, he can't do that. He proved everyone wrong, right? And like he really, really stepped up in the Super Bowl, played against Pat Mahomes. So the one guy I'm really, really happy for is Jalen Hurts, because I mean, just getting benched from Alabama, a prestige college, to and like think about it. If Nick Saban lost trust in you, what NFL team's gonna keep trusting you?
Yeah.
That's like Coach K saying, Cooper Flag, you're gonna be benched. We don't need you for starting. That's gonna be big, man. So I'm really, really happy for Jalen Hurts. I want to give him some flowers because he actually played well. And yeah, our friend texted us saying that people thought he can't throw. He can't come up clutch. He can't do this. He can't do that. Well, he proved everyone wrong. This guy is a mobile QB. At the same time, he can throw at the right time, right? And so, I mean, look,
he does. The thing about Jalen Hurts is that he does whatever needs to be done to win the game. So he's a winner, not a stats person. He's not gonna wow you with 350 yards, 5 touchdowns, whatever, right? He's not gonna do all that stuff. It's just like, I just want to win the game. Let's figure out a way to win. Whether it's him or it's Saquon. So Saquon's being shut down pretty much. They really tried their best to give Saquon as much, like carries as possible, but it was not happening. So then Jalen Hurts is like, I'll just do it myself, right? So, yeah, I mean, I will definitely give a lot of props to Jalen Hurts. He stepped up. This is what the team needed. I mean, essentially, the Chiefs said they dared Jalen Hurts to like, you beat us by yourself. And you and your receiver beat us, and then that's exactly what he did. Yeah. He also led the entire game in rushing yards as well as 72. So, like, he was doing everything for them. So I agree with you. I'm not the biggest Eagles fan. I'm still not the biggest Eagles fan. Like, I know their celebration and our buddy's going crazy, and he's like, oh yeah, like, everyone hates us. They'll still hate you guys after this.
Exactly.
People just hated the Chiefs more. Exactly. So they rooted for the Eagles, but after this, they'll still go back to hating you guys. But I personally did appreciate Jalen Hurts. I think he's a very underrated quarterback. I don't know. So, like, my question to you is, do you think Jalen Hurts is a top 5 QB now?
No. I mean, right now in NFL, no. He's kind of like outside of top 5 because, I mean, like, top 5, I mean, see this with QB, man, like, you have to control the game. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, just like NBA stars, like, you got to control the game, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have Josh Allen, who controls the game, right? Mm-hmm. He's not a system QB. You have Pat Mahomes, who does the same thing, right? And then you have Lamar Jackson that does that too, right? And then you got, I mean,
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow, who controls the game, right? He makes an impact, Yeah. He's right. I mean, he's right there, man. I mean, he's probably 6. Breaks it. He's like right outside, like knocking on the door,
Like, yeah, I mean, you have your 4, right? You have Pat, you have Josh Allen,
Lamar,
Joe Burrow, and Lamar, right?
Right.
And then 5th is always kind of interchangeable. People will put Stafford. They may
put
Jalen Hurts in sometimes now because Jalen should beat Stafford. So, like, it's interchangeable depending on how it is. But, like, your top 4 is your top 4. It's just how it is. And
exactly.
And I mean, and I agree with you there. Like, Jalen Hurts, again, good quarterback, great performance last game. But, like, if you were to put Josh Allen for Jalen Hurts in this Eagles team, they would have gone 18-0, whatever. Like, they would have just completely dominated.
Gosh, and you give them Saquon with this defense, ooh,
exactly.
Man,
but when you put Jalen Hurts in Bills, they wouldn't do as well as much as they did. So, like, that's my only thing when I compare these two teams. But nonetheless, Jalen Hurts, well-deserved MVP. This game reminded me of a lot is, and I remember this because you and I were watching this game together at my parents' house. This was the Broncos and Seattle game. Where
I thought about you, man.
Broncos were like the best offensive team ever. Peyton Manning was the quarterback. Like, there was no, and then it was like 48-6, whatever it was.
They jumped on them, dude. They just like game was not close. Like, it was like, it was over in the first quarter. Second quarter was over, man. Like, I was like, God dang,
So it made me wonder, do you think Jalen Hurts is like a Russell Wilson? Where like he had like just Russell Wilson had Marshawn Lynch, best quarterback in the league by far, right? Dominating like Saquon is dominating. Best defense in the league by far, just like the Eagles have it, right? Pete Carroll, people give him crap about it, by his coaching style. Same with Sirianni, right? So like, do you kind of feel like he's more closely to Russell Wilson, where he can also run out of the pocket, throws a little bit at times, but not a stat pattern. I saw a lot of similarities in this game between as I was watching. I was like, man, this is a lot like the game that me and Kenil watched at my
I
parents'
remember that
house.
game, man. It was
Yeah.
2013 too. I remember
Yeah.
that game. We were ready. I remember. It's so sad. We came for Super Bowl. But I remember your nachos more than Super Bowl.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. It was such
You
a
made the
boring
goddamn
game.
best nachos ever, dude. That's why I remember more about this Super Bowl, to be honest. And I remember Bruno Mars was performing or something, and they made a joke saying that, at Bruno Mars concert, it was a Super Bowl at halftime.
Yeah,
or
there was a
something.
football game happening during his
Yeah, man.
concert.
No, but you know what, man? I see where you're coming from. Look, Jalen Hurts is different in a way where it kind of does remind me of Russell Wilson, but I don't Pete Carroll really. The coach reminds me of Pete Carroll so much because he wants attention. He'll call that play.
Yeah,
When you
exactly.
start running into Saquon, he'll be, hey, Jalen, you throw.
Yeah.
Well,
it reminds me so much of that team.
I can see that, dude. I can see that. So no, I do see that. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know if Eagles will win another Super Bowl. To be honest.
That's my next question to you. What do you think?
I don't know.
What's more likely to happen? You think Eagles going back to the Super Bowl or the Chiefs going back?
This broke the Chiefs, man. I hate saying this. I want to say Eagles will go back because the NFC is weak. You don't have Lamar or Joe Burrow, or you don't have Lamar. Josh Allen in that conference. It's all in the AFC. I mean, who the hell do you have in NFC, man? Stafford, we don't know if he's coming back with the Rams. We don't know what Niners' situation is with Brock Purdy, right? We don't know their situation. I mean, we found out that what's his name, the receiver, they're gonna trade him now, right? Wherever he wants to go, right? And so, besides the Lions, I mean,
who might get worse, right? Because both of
they lost both,
their defensive offensive
both,
coordinators left.
defense and offensive coordinator. So, I don't know, man. Like I said, Eagles have a better chance to get back to Super Bowl. But that's what I'm saying. I don't know if they'll win it. That's the thing, because Seattle got back, but they didn't win it though. And so I do feel that, Bills, will if they make it or Lamar makes it and do Burrow, man. I mean, he's good, man.
It's like how you said with the Lions game, right? The Lions, when they got knocked out, like the which team was it that played the Vikings? It was
Commanders?
Before that. They gave the blueprint on how to beat the Lions, right? In the regular season, and then the Commanders copied it essentially, right? Same thing, I think, with the Chiefs. Like every team, especially like John Harbaugh is looking at that like, oh, this is how we beat the Chiefs next year. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna rush for, but our four guys have to be like hungry for it. They gotta knock them out, and that's gonna rattle Pat Mahomes because he won't have enough time to go into the pocket and figure it out. Like, I think the blueprint is out now. If it was a close game, you still wouldn't know, but like because it's such a blowout, and because Pat Mahomes like looked so scared out there for his life, that like I think that's the difficult part. So I agree with you. I think the Eagles have a high chance of making it. Not saying they're gonna make it back, but I think they definitely. I mean, they are the favorites next year as well to repeat. Saquon kind of hinted that they want to go for a three-peat again. With these Eagles, I don't know what it is, the Eagles fan base, like they just get so hyped after one win. They did the same thing with Doug Peterson. He wrote a book about winning against the Patriots and then never went back to their promised land. Like the same thing with this one. Like, calm down. Let's get the settle going. Like get better in your own conference, because Jaden Daniels is just gonna get better. He had a good rookie year and he's just gonna get better. Cowboys suck. They're all gonna suck. But like I feel like the NFC has a chance to make it more competitive versus the AFC. It's probably going to just go down to either the Baltimore Ravens or the Bills next year. I think the Chiefs are probably going to be outside looking in because this was a gut wrench for them, honestly.
Man, this is something that kind of, like you said, man, like splits up everyone in there,
Yeah.
Like Kelsey will rethink about his, coming back or not.
Yeah.
And Andy Reid. I mean, it's look, Chiefs knew going into the season their weakest spot was O-line. Mm-hmm. Why not address it during the draft? You had draft picks. Why not go get some O-lines, and get the right people in there, They let few people go. It's gonna be tough, man. And same thing with same thing with the Eagles. I mean, they're gonna be losing their offensive coordinator, right? Clemens, he's gone to Saints, and so let's see how Sirianni reacts to that too. So that'll be interesting as well too.
And Vic Fangio is not necessarily. I mean, he's also old. He
He's
also
old.
has hinted that he may retire as well. Maybe wants to go on
Exactly.
top. Without him, I don't think the Eagles do
Well,
well.
dude, you saw what happened last year, man. Like, you
Yeah,
fell apart right away,
yeah,
man.
exactly.
I mean,
And they have to bring
shit.
him back and all that kind of stuff. So, like, yeah, I think the Eagles definitely will probably be back, next year if Vic Fangio stays. I think offensive wise, Saquon, he's gonna still dominate, do his thing, as long as nobody else leaves.
I think there's a high chance that
line-wise.
Brown leaves. So
Yeah, he was kind of. I mean, he had a diva moment. Did you see that in the first
I
quarter?
saw
He had a
that,
diva
dude.
moment.
So I think he's gone,
It's
man.
like,
To be
it's like,
honest,
come on, dude.
yeah, I think they might not bring him back, dude.
If they would have lost the game, that would have been playing nonstop. Okay, my next question for you. All right, so we have Pat Mahomes, right, losing this Super Bowl, and then Travis Kelsey, also not a factor. So with this loss, whose legacy is more impacted? Because now people are saying, is Travis Kelsey the best tight end ever? Are we sure about that? Because his decline has been pretty steep this year. And then even the Super Bowl, like Gronk went out with like Gronk. He
Look,
went out
man,
strong. He got injured and out. And then on the opposite end, Mahomes, everyone's like, don't even talk about a GOAT conversation. This guy's not even close. He lost to Brady twice already, and he's 3-2. Like he's in the Super Bowl, not even close to what Brady was. Whose legacy is more affected here?
it's so hard to compare Gronk and Kelsey, man, because Kelsey's been with Mahomes for a long time, right? Gronk came, I think, latter part of 2013, I think, or something. I don't know when he came. So Brady started in 2001, man. So you're talking about 12 years after Brady's career, Gronk came, right? And when Gronk came, everything was crazy good, man. It was wonderful, right? Kelsey's been playing with Mahomes for a while, ever since Mahomes even started, right? And so, look, man, if you talk about tight ends, man, I mean, the first thing comes to your mind is Gronk. I mean, the guy had impact, right? You had the thing with Gronk, man. Like, he was like a physical specimen, man. Like, this guy could block. He can run a deep throw. Like, I never seen a big guy run that deep. I still remember. I hate saying it. I still remember a Super Bowl against us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Or Jared Goff.
down the
And the
middle.
reason we lost because we had a chance to still win that game too. Because they converted a deep throw. Gronk was nowhere the whole game. Yeah. Like the first 3.5 quarters, Gronk was probably drinking beer or something. Who the hell did he know? Last 5 minutes of that game, Gronk shows up and catches a deep pass. Game over, right? Like Kelsey for the past 2 years, he has like dropped, and there hasn't been like Gronk never did that. So look, I still consider Gronk an all-time tight end. Literally, in my view, the much football I know, man, Gronk and Antonio Gates, they're right there for me, right? Gronk is a little more because he won Super Bowl. Antonio Gates, he was there too. He was very dominant too, So those people are, and like Kelsey's right there because Mahomes and Kelsey connection, right? But I never consider Kelsey above Gronk, man, to be honest. But
yeah, I think.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the last 2 years have definitely not been in Kelsey's favor. Like he's really declined. He's not the dominant tight end that he once was. Then there's a lot of off the field issues with like him, the whole distraction with Taylor Swift, and then also before this game, the comments he made about the president coming, and like that's when all like half of the country started voting. Like I mean, not voting, but started cheering for the Eagles. Because of what Pat Mahomes and Kelsey said about the president coming, all that kind of stuff. Like, there's a lot of stuff, and so a lot of negative press coming his way, and that definitely has tarnished his legacy. Because if he would have left after they won the Super Bowl last year and said that was great, that was cool, I'm good, better. He probably would have walked away as the best tight end of all time.
Exactly.
But this season, he's just nowhere to be seen at all. Like especially in the big games, like where is this guy?
Even I mean, look, I'll give Casey that. Look, they didn't have their best receiver, right? Rasheed Rice, right? And even after him going down during the season, Kelsey didn't step up at all, man.
Yeah, he didn't. Exactly.
It was like Juju was stepping up, and
D-Hop had a good game.
Worthy was stepping up, and like that. Kelsey didn't step up at all, man. Here and there, he had the games, which is good, but that's about it, But he didn't really step up. And then, but going back to your second question about whose legacy is more tarnished is 100% Pat Mahomes.
You think so?
Because the thing is this, man. There's ways to lose as a leader, and there's ways not to lose as a leader. You know, I'm sorry. What he did, okay. If like you said, if the game was close, they lost.
Mm-hmm.
But being shut out like that in the first 3 quarters, and then finally getting some points in the third quarter and the fourth quarter, like, I'm sorry, man. Breeze would not do that. I'm not even going to talk about Tom Brady here because we know he doesn't do that. Rodgers doesn't do that. Stafford doesn't do that. I'm sorry, man. You got to switch it up, man. That type of shutout, what's wrong with you? Like, and so it's going to hurt his legacy more. And it's going to be interesting how he overcomes it because that's going to show more, right? And I do feel that this GOAT conversation with Mahomes and Brady, I wish they just rest that
it's
easy
over now. It's honestly over. Unless if Mahomes has another chance to three
There's
people,
nothing
like,
Mahomes can do.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
He's not.
Dude, Tom Brady in his 10 Super Bowls only threw 6 interceptions. Mahomes has thrown 7.
Yeah.
In 4 Super Bowls.
And his 5.
Or 5
Super Bowls.
Yeah, 5 Super Bowls. It's over.
Yeah.
Look, the thing is this. The losses that Brady had in the Super Bowl were not shutouts. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
They were lost because of Philly special, helmet catch, and whatever the other one was, But that's the way he lost, Yeah. He never had a shutout. So this GOAT conversation needs to be rested, Look, Brady's Brady. Whatever, I don't even care if Mahomes goes to like 15 Super Bowls. I don't even care if he wins 11 Super Bowls. Whatever the case is, man. That type of performance does not deserve to be in that GOAT conversation. And like Tom Brady, man, it's Tom Brady. He's a legend. And I do want to talk about Tom Brady after this topic is over. I sent you a clip. I don't know if you got a chance to hear that clip.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about that. But yeah, again, just going back to you, man, it's going to tarnish Mahomes' legacy more than Kelsey. Kelsey is good. It was right there with Gronk, but Gronk is Gronk. That's my view. But this Super Bowl really, really hurts Pat Mahomes' legacy, to be honest.
The stat was like Mahomes is 0-3 now whenever Tom Brady is anywhere near the building. Like that's his record now. Like twice when he played against him and then once when he's commentating. It's just I think this definitely hurts Mahomes a lot too. He has a chance to make up for it. I think with Kelsey, at least, like, he's at the end of the career. After this, I mean, he may just call it a career and may not want to return. But at least with Mahomes, he will have it for another few years. Again, I don't think Mahomes gets back to Super Bowl if Andy Reid retires. Without Andy Reid, this team is not going to be as good as it was before. I don't see any other coach coming in, helping out. The window for Mahomes winning a lot has gone down too. Because honestly, like, you look at their starting roster, Kareem Hunt, D-Hop, like they were loaded, honestly, and they still looked really weak offensively. So like, and most of the fault was Mahomes' fault too. So like, he's prone to these kind of games,
And please don't make Rashee Rice out to be this all-pro receiver, man.
Yeah,
like he was not gonna factor in.
He's nice, but he's not like.
I hate this, Chiefs Nation saying, "Oh, we didn't have our best receiver, Rashee Rice."
Right.
Get the hell out of. He's not a TO. He's not a freaking like all
Tyreek Henry or Jamar Chase.
He's not nothing like that, man. So like Jamar Chase kind of plays, not that.
Yeah, he's not.
He's a solid receiver, and that's all he is. I mean, so I hate. He wasn't going to make a difference in this game. I'm sorry. Rashee Rice was not going to,
Let's get into the Tom Brady thing you're talking about. Go for it.
Yeah, man. The Super Bowl is done, and we're moving on. So there's this clip that I came across, I think it was late. I think Friday night or Saturday night came across. And I don't really listen to Colin Cowherd as much, but he does have good guests on, so I do listen to it. But Colin Cowherd is like very, I don't know, he doesn't make sense. Like about Lakers.
He has some bad takes.
He talks out of his ass about LeBron, Lakers, and all that. So his takes are very off,
Mm-hmm.
And so, but he had Tom Brady. So I do listen to the guests, And Tom Brady went on this not rant,
Mm-hmm.
but like information that he has like learned, And the question that Colin Cowherd asked Tom Brady, how would you prepare yourself for a Super Bowl? What would you do, right? In this case, and because Brady has been there 10 times. He's like, he talked about his last Super Bowl that he experienced when Tampa faced KC. He's like, we have 2 weeks, I'm not going out in that 2 weeks. I am studying the shit out of that film. I'm studying like nonstop. I'm studying the tendency, how they move, what they do, what play call they're going to be calling. Like if I'll know their defense more than I'll know their defense more than they will, and I'll know their habit more than they will. I will know when a player is gonna lift his finger up. Basically, that's what he'll say. And so he's like, I had the answers to the test, and he's like, that's preparation you need to do for that 2 weeks. You need to break down that film. And there's more to it. I recommend anybody who has a chance, because that thing kind of went viral everywhere. If it has a chance, just YouTube, or Google Brady and Colin Cowherd's conversation, dude, it'll come up. And it was the most joyful, intelligent mindset how Brady is, man. The guy is brilliant. Like the way he studied, like, the Super Bowl matchup, And if he did that, think about all the other games he studied, right? And that kind of showed, because when they played that Super Bowl, like Brady just demolished the defense. Like they didn't even touch him. Like he knew exactly what was coming towards him, man. And I loved it, man. Like that's how you prepare. But see when he said that, like you can take that, into a real life experience as a day-to-day operation as well as a person, right? Like you have to have that kind of mindset that, like, if you want to get a good in a better shape in your life, like get in the shape, best shape in your life or whatever. Like you have to have that mindset that you got to be dedicated, right? Like you have to wake up early, right? Or you have to work out. You have to be consistent eating healthy, right? And that's the type of stuff that basic radio was saying. Like you got to be consistent. You got to focus on what you're trying to do, what your mission is to accomplish. I just love that piece, man. It was like 6 minutes long. I loved it. Like I was like, wow. Like
I think
crazy.
This is like one of the reasons why Tom Brady has always been my favorite player, and even why now that he's retired, like I don't have a team necessarily, because like I'm just so drawn to how great of a player Tom Brady was, right? Even before he was all celebrating all that kind of stuff,
right?
Because ever since me, I've been a Tom Brady fan, right? So like I appreciate, because he like, you look at it, he's not the fastest QB. He doesn't have the best arm. He doesn't have the best legs. He's not the most athletic person there is. That's why people say, is he the best athlete of all time? And they're like, no, LeBron James probably the most popular athlete of all time. But Tom Brady was a winner, and that's the kind of thing, like I think a lot of normal people can agree with, is like his preparation, his mindset going into it. Like you're not gonna beat that. He will train and get ready for you twice as hard before you ever knew it. And he even said in another podcast with, I think it was with somebody else. Who was it? Should I forget the name? But like he says, like I can read the defense, and then I know the cadence of how the defense goes, and I can see if this guy's gonna pull back, if it's a blitz or not. I know, okay, blitz, I'm gonna call an audible right away. Boom, go right away. Like a lot of these players now, they don't see the blitz. They think it's gonna happen, but they don't know. But he's like, I know when and I know when Spagnuolo is gonna send the blitz. I can see it in the package that he sends out. For so I'll tell Gronk, just go down the middle. I'm gonna throw it to you right away. Whereas everyone now is like, what the heck? We know the blitz was coming, right? And that's the thing, that not a lot of these quarterbacks now have that mindset that Tom Brady does. And that's what it takes to be a winner. But I think also it's good to be successful in your own life, is that preparation that he brought, because he's not super like gifted like other quarterbacks is. He's not Lamar Jackson, right? He's not Aaron Rodgers at throwing the football. He's not Josh Allen at running with the football. Like he's not that special physically, but mentally he was there, and that's what made up for it, right?
And
So
like the thing is, like he reminds me more like Kobe, right?
yeah, exactly.
And like the thing was, people ask Kobe after he retired or during when he was playing days. I remember this question and answer really well, because it kind of talks about, like, I want to say 90% of population out there, right? He's like, I'm not gifted,
Mm-hmm.
Kobe's like, I'm not gifted in any way. Like I don't have the best, I'm not the best, I'm not athletic, I'm not gifted with that, or my height is like crazy
Yeah,
big, or I
can't
can
jump
jump
the
this high.
highest.
I'm
Yeah,
not gifted. But he's like, the one thing I can do is train and work hard. And that's the thing that can not be taken away from me, and that's true, and that's a mindset. It kind of pertains to everyone. Like even Steph Curry, right, man? He's not gifted. He's a point guard. Short guy. Shooting guard. He's an all-time 3-point leader, right? I mean, it's like you work hard in life. It'll come to you. Stay consistent and work hard. And Brady basically alluded to it that you got to, like you said, preparation is everything. You got to prepare for what's coming ahead of you and be ready. Like have the answers to the test ready. And I forgot who said this. I don't know if you said it last week or I heard it somewhere. I don't know if Brady said it, but someone said something about a QB position, right? And I like that too. It's like QB controls the game, the whole entire game. I forgot who said this, but he's like, a QB controls the game because unlike basketball or baseball, right? Not baseball, but unlike basketball, well, the ball keeps on rolling, or like soccer keeps on rolling. QB controls the whole game because he doesn't have to hike the ball. Because once he hikes the ball, then play starts. So why even hike the ball if you don't understand the defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a QB has so much responsibility in a way where they can change formations, they can change the plays. They if they think that is gonna be a blitz coming, they can change the whole entire play to a running play. I forgot who said this, but they said that a QB, that's why it takes such a knowledgeable QB, because he doesn't have to hike the ball. If he doesn't like anything what he likes, call timeout, right? And that's why all these, the great ones in this league, right? Like you're talking about, like, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes, they know what they're doing because they can change the plays, right? They see what the defense is showing, right? They're faking the blitz or they're coming with 6-man rush, whatever the case is. They change it, right? And that's what the QB position is. You got to be ready for all kinds of different avenues. And honestly, you don't have to hike the ball. Call timeout. Let's go back at it. See what you can see and just get ready for it. That's what Tom Brady was really good at, right? The audibles. Like he changed up formations, plans
all the time,
like nobody did ever.
Yeah,
and that's what he was good at, changing up all kinds of plays. I loved, and that's something. This GOAT conversation needs to rest in peace. Goodbye.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's over, man. I don't care if Mahomes wins 11 Super Bowls.
Yeah. You can't lose to the guy head to head twice, and then also throw 2 dumpers in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, dude, dumpsters, bro.
Yeah.
Non-show, man. Like you didn't even show up.
All right. Well, that was Super Bowl, man. Now we are right into the thick of it with NBA action. The Lakers are back. Luka's debut was tonight. They're actually playing still, but it looks like it's a blowout. Right now, as we watch, it's 127-102 in the fourth, with the Lakers beating the Jazz. The trade for Mark Brown, was his name?
Mark Williams.
Mark Williams got rescinded because of some issues with his health. Kudos to the Lakers training staff for saying no to it, because they knew something else was happening besides his back, and they're like, we don't trust this. This is weird.
I give bigger kudos to Pelinka, right? Because the thing is this. The way I see it is, Charlotte needs to show all their information they have about Mark Williams, and then the Lakers do their own research with their medical staff, and medical staffs can, advise you of what they see in their report, and then the last person needs to say yes or no is Pelinka. And when the report came, Pelinka wasn't scared to say no, because a lot of people will be like, God damn, we don't want to rescind that trade, because a trade rescind doesn't really happen that often in the NBA. And so I give a lot of credit to, Rob Pelinka by saying that, hey, look, even though Mark Williams is a great player, a good player, he can be used, that's a perfect player for Luka Doncic, but I don't think that, he'll be healthy enough for 2 or 3 years. And I mean, they're giving up pretty good assets, Dalton Connect and a swap and a first round pick. That's a whole.
I thought they gave up a lot for him. Yeah.
And so today's report that came out with Sham, they're saying that Charlotte has talked to the NBA about the league office about Lakers rescinding this, trade. And I don't know what's going to come out of it, because obviously the deadline window is gone. So, I mean, usually what happens in if a trade gets rescinded, a team can go back to the tables and they can renegotiate the deal again and make it happen. Maybe take 1 first round pick back and make it happy, But since the window is done, you can't really, go back to
Go back
talking
to
to
it.
teams and making trade. Because I think what Lakers would have done is probably either taken a swap back or either taken a first round pick back. One of those would have came back. Dalton Connect would have been involved, but the thing is, they would have taken one of the assets back, And so, I mean, we'll see what happens. Charlotte's disputing it. Maybe NBA might make an exception and let them renegotiate. Give them like a 24-hour window saying talk about it and see if you can come with the resolution. And if not, then we'll cancel the whole deal, whatever the thing is. But again, I mean, Lakers got the big fish, man. Luka. I mean, I'm watching it as we speak.
Yeah.
They're not playing. The backups are like third strings are playing now. But I can tell you one thing, man, by watching this, I know you're busy today. I don't think you caught the game, but you can tell that you can tell three things. One is LeBron is vouching and basically encouraging and showing that leadership that, honestly, if you are Aaron Rodgers, if you are any type of like a superstar that you are in this game, and you want to see how to behave when a franchise is moving on from you and bringing a young superstar, all the LeBron haters, please watch him, because the thing is this guy says a perfect example. Like even last week he said that if I don't like the transition of going from me to another young superstar, I will waive my no trade clause and I'll get the hell out of here. He said that straight up. If I don't like the direction, I would have done that. That means he loves the direction they're doing. He's like, there's nothing wrong with, basically, thinking, in the future, and LeBron knows the right move. And the steps he's been taking. Because today at Staples Center, they're giving out Luka's t-shirt today, right? 7-7. And what LeBron does during one of his warm-ups, he wears that t-shirt and warms up. I mean, if that doesn't make Luka feel comfortable, more pleased at home, saying, hey, you're the guy, this is going to be your team, he's encouraging, hey, man, I'm supporting you. I love that you're here. They traded his best friend away, man. That's like saying that, like, someone takes you off this podcast. You're my best friend. Like, what the hell? No. Like, I'll be pissed, And they put some young person in this shit, or they take me off and they put a younger person, a better person than me, You'd be like, yo, what the hell, right? So, I mean, LeBron got his best friend taken away, and he's showing so much, what do you call it, excitement about this new addition, And then another thing he did is, today is, right before the game, right before the game starts, they're all huddling up as a team, and he's talking to kind of motivate them, and he directly talks to Luka saying, "Don't worry about fitting in. Do your fucking shit. Play your game. Don't worry about fitting in. Play your game. Do you, and you can tell Luka's so happy because he's like, he doesn't have to worry about fitting in. He's like, I'll play my game, So just play your game. Don't worry about us, And like, usually that's coming from LeBron. And the last thing I want to say is that, when the starting lineups are announced, this. Usually it's mostly, that the best player goes last. Giannis usually gets called last. LeBron gets called last. Kawhi gets called last. Best player is the last person to get the name called. Today, it wasn't LeBron.
Yeah.
It was Luka Doncic. And LeBron's totally fine with it, man. And, I even told my wife, I was like, this is passing the torch. This is LeBron saying that this is your team, man. Let's go. And, honestly, the reason why I brought up Aaron Rodgers and this and that, man, like, there's people that could be mentors to these young players, right? Tom Brady, Tom Brady was a great mentor, man. People don't talk about that because he had Castle under him who played well. He got actually a contract by KC, or someone who got he played well. Castle, I forgot his first name, but he was under him. When he got injured, Castle, he was able to perform for Patriots. So Tom Brady was a great leader, but Rodgers wasn't a good leader to, Jordan Love. There's a lot of superstars who are not good leaders in like mentoring people, I mean, everyone's time will come to an end. Why don't you just mentor that young player and get him ready for it, right? And I loved everything what LeBron's doing, all the steps LeBron's doing. And I know I'm the biggest LeBron bandwagoner you can find out there, but I love what he's doing. I commend him for it. And lastly, I want to say before I get your take on this is watching today's game. One thing I can tell, man, the difference between AD, pairing AD with LeBron and Luka with LeBron, Luka will actually control the game. Luka can actually win you the games. AD doesn't take pressure off LeBron. AD plays well with LeBron, but doesn't take pressure off LeBron, meaning that LeBron still needs to dominate the game. LeBron still needs to play 35 plus minutes. In this case, LeBron doesn't really have to worry about handling the ball. He doesn't have to worry about playing too much on offense. He can save that energy. And you can see it today, that Luka is so talented that he doesn't need LeBron, hand holding him everywhere. And AD did. So that's the last thing I want to say. I love this trade. I'm excited whatever happens to the Lakers, but this is a great move, Go ahead, man.
I agree with you. I think LeBron is showing a good masterclass on how to pass the baton to somebody, right? Especially like Luka. He could, like I said, he could easily just walked away from the situation if he wanted to. And I think for a long time, LeBron was hoping AD would finally take that. Like he was wanting to give it to AD. Like AD, come on, bro, be the best player on our team. I'm giving you the thing. Like this is you're the future of this franchise. I'm giving you all the tools you need. Come on, man, do it. And AD for some reason just is better as a Robin than he is a Batman. He just never feels comfortable, right? Kind of same way as KD as well. Like KD's not a good leader. He's a good player, but he can't be a leader of a team.
Like Pau Gasol.
Same with AD, right?
Yeah.
And whereas Doncic has that confidence about himself, he's like, I can do this myself. I don't need people around me. I can make people around me better. And it also goes back to like, I don't know if you remember when LeBron and JJ Redick had a podcast and they actually had a topic about how to stop Luka Doncic. And they both were just like, I don't know, man. Like the only way to stop him is to have him in our team. That's what they said. And then like literally, here we go. The both of them have them in the team. So like it's a great way, and I think it helps Luka because I think Luka is still very shocked by what happened. And I don't think he quite feels like he fits in. But having LeBron there be like, bro, just do you, man. Just play your game. And then even when he was sitting out, LeBron had that moment where he dunked the ball and he's like, this can be you and me next game. When we,
exactly.
He had that,
which is great.
You can tell like that was like Luka was like, all right, I can see this happening. Let's go, So this is a great way for LeBron, I think, to pass the baton off to Luka. Much needed because I think the Lakers are also hoping that this is a good positive experience for Luka, so he can sign the deal and stay with us longer. Versus essentially dumping it all. But nonetheless, AD got injured the first game. Yeah, he pulled the Aaron Rodgers move. But yeah, I do give a lot of props to LeBron. I think this was a very, very professional move on his part. I think he also doesn't know that we're probably not going to get too far in the playoffs this year with the team, especially now that we didn't get Mark Williams. If we did get Mark Williams, I probably would have said we would have made it pretty far into the playoffs. But now I don't know because we're so top heavy. Bottom heavy. But Jackson Hayes, you never know. This dude can show up.
He can be a Tyson Chandler, man. I mean,
him and Dorian Finney-Smith, like that's. I mean, Luka plays well with these kinds of athletic bigs, right? So you never know.
I've seen crazy shit happen in the NBA, and that's the reason why I feel that Lakers could come out of the West even without a center. Last week when I said that is because I saw Dallas do it against the Lakers. Because the thing is, because I don't know if you remember back in 2012, we had Pau and Andrew Bynum and Lamar Odom, right? And Dallas, they had tall people, but they didn't have anyone to match up with that. But they still beat us, and they played good as a team. Lakers are lanky; they're not tall. Right, they don't have size right down low, obviously. But if you look at their roster, JJ Redick, one thing he really wanted in the beginning of the season and it wasn't working, he wants all 5 positions to switch on defense. So that's what I think that's the defense that he wants to be. That's the defense that he wants to play. That anyone can guard anyone, and don't worry about it, the matchup issue. The wings we have and players we have, they all can switch on anyone, right? And so they're lanky, man. They're wingspan. They can get the ball, man. With Dorian Finney-Smith and Jared, and then we got Rui and LeBron, Luka, Austin Reeves. They're all lanky. They can switch on anyone, man. There's not one player they cannot switch on, right? They'll switch on anyone. They'll guard anyone. They'll guard a center through a point guard, So that's what I like about the Lakers. It'll be hard for teams to kind of like play. We can disturb their offensive flow because we're linked. We're just gonna be everywhere. There's not gonna be a thing where shit is a mismatch. No, that's not gonna happen because Lakers can't guard anybody. That's why I like their defense right now. They're playing well, man. I mean, the game that impressed me the most was on Saturday when LeBron was out and Luka was out.
Yeah,
Pacers coming in. Pacers are a good team, right? They're like 6th in the East or something. They're a good team, 6th or 5th, whatever the thing they are. And we dominated the Pacers, right? And that doesn't really happen. Our defense was good, man. And it wasn't because Austin Reeves went off. That helped. Austin Reeves went out for 45, 8-8,
Yeah,
or whatever he went out
crazy.
for. But that wasn't the reason. It was the defense. We kind of kept Pacers in control, you know? So that kind of showed a lot, you know, their defense is coming. And like, again, defense wins championship, right? And so I
Yeah.
like Lakers' chances, regardless who we have, because Dallas wanted with Tyson Chandler as their center. He was
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, but I mean, with the Lakers, the issue is not necessarily like the bigs is the biggest issue, but like the defense is an issue for me because both Luka and LeBron don't play much of it. So
Right.
like, if you have both of them at the same
It's
time, then
contagious,
who's
though, man. If everyone hustles, it's contagious.
yeah,
You
but
gotta, because defense is all
even at
effort.
his
It's all
best,
effort,
Luka's
man.
and
It's all effort. And sometimes you don't want to put that effort because if one person's slacking. But if everyone's giving that
yeah,
effort and the offense is flowing, because you gotta understand, offense, okay, playing well on offensive side will energize your defense. You know, will energize you as you hustling more, playing harder. You know, it's all hustle.
yeah. It's just because in the West, like in the West, we have the Nuggets, and then we have like the Grizzlies with some really good big men. I just don't know how we match up against that. Right. That's the only issue that I have that
No,
I
I
can
know.
see,
I
and
see where
for
you're
us,
coming
I mean,
from.
OKC we may match up pretty well to them. I think because they're also not very
Exactly.
they're pretty bottom heavy. They're not really tall like us.
Look,
But yeah,
Denver is the
I
only team
think
that I'm scared of, man. And Jokic
yeah,
is a
Denver and
stud.
probably the Grizzlies.
Yeah, but Jokic is a stud, man. I mean, you know, that guy is
Yeah,
he's just too good.
with the Mavericks, not having 85 for a while, like
Dude,
they're out of
think
this
about that. First game and being out for a month now. Like, this is the
non-contact injury. Welcome to the Laker land over the last few years with AD, dude.
that,
This is why I wanted to get rid of him. I told you I don't want AD and I don't want LeBron on our team.
he's walking, not double, walking injury prone. Dude,
Yeah,
he
exactly.
walks.
Street clothes.
Yes, man. And now today Gafford went out. So,
God. Yeah, the Mavericks. I mean, they're pretty much done at this point because
yeah, man.
they say he's out indefinitely. So that just means who the heck knows when he'll come back by a couple months from now.
Exactly. Dude.
Another team that got better, I think, in my opinion, are the Warriors with Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that trade, man?
I like it, man. I mean, look. That was the best fit. Better than Phoenix Suns, to be honest with you. Like, Jimmy was perfect fit for Golden State. I was telling everyone, dude, Jimmy, just go to Golden State, play. They need you there. They need a second option. They need the other person there, and they got the perfect second option that are possible. Phoenix wouldn't have used him properly, you know, because they have Booker and Durant. So
Yeah,
I like it. They'll be dangerous because as long as Steph has a person to play with, they will be dangerous. They will make a good run in the playoffs, just like the Lakers. Like I said, man, Lakers are back in it, and Golden State are back in it, man. You know, and Dallas, we'll see where the injuries takes them, but they should be back in it too. And this is
yeah,
great for the NBA, man. You want Steph
sure.
in the playoffs. I'm sorry, you want LeBron in the playoffs too, and you want Dallas and all the other teams being there too. So this is great. No, I agree with you, man. Golden State definitely did well for themselves. You know,
Yeah, Jimmy's a
and
really good fit with them. I think what Steph needed was some sort of like some way to not get or control all the offense all the time. Like that's the thing with him. He was getting so tired of just being the only offensive person in his team. When he sits out, like there's no one really generating too much offense. So now we have Jimmy Butler who can step in and ISO ball and all that kind of stuff. And it's the first 2 games he's done that already. So I think it's a really good fit for them. I don't see them. They got better, but they're not like contender, right? Better yet. I think contenders in the West kind of stay the same. Maybe the Lakers creep in a little bit, but not like
exactly.
not. Oh my
But
God,
again, the West is
for
wide
sure.
open. You know, there's
Yeah,
not a true threat. Coming out like Boston is in
yeah.
the East. You know.
So definitely that was another big trade. Any other trades that you
I
thought
like
was?
I like what Cavs did.
Hmm.
They got DeAndre Hunter from Atlanta, and that's something they needed, right? Because they needed bench points, and they didn't have anyone coming off the bench that can kind of go and score 10, 14 points. And DeAndre Hunter is a really good player, man, coming in and playing alongside Donovan Mitchell and Garland and all those boys. I mean, Cavs are gonna give Boston a run for their
I was gonna
money,
say, what do
but
you
I
think?
don't know how far, because like Boston plays well together, and the Cavs, they're streaky, and so I want to see how that goes. But that's my other winner. They got DeAndre Hunter from Atlanta, and that
Yeah.
was a great pickup, man. So
Honestly, I don't know what it is about this Cavs team. They may surprise Boston.
They remind me of the Atlanta team that won like freaking
Oh yeah,
72 and something. They're good. Everyone's like, oh my god, they're gonna beat whoever. I think it was Boston too at the time. No, man, they're just seasoned team. That's what they remind me of.
yeah. But
Like
it's
you, like
something
Atlanta team
about
that
them, man.
would like they had crazy ass record, but they just disappeared. It's like okay,
Yeah. Well,
so
the good thing with them is that they had Donovan Mitchell, who does show up in the playoffs. Like
yeah,
he's had huge game in playoffs, so that's a win for them. And you're surrounding him with much better players now. Like I think last year Levert was injured, I believe it was. So like
yeah,
he's
and they got
back
rid of
and
him now. Yeah, so
yeah. So like and then like they have Darius Garland, who was also injured last year. He's back fully. So like
Mobley, and then they have
Mobley, yeah.
Jared
So like
Allen.
as long as everyone stays healthy, they'll good. I think they'll probably put up the best fight against the Celtics because in the East, I don't see the Knicks are not. I don't believe in them,
I don't know, me
and
either, man. I can't take them
yeah,
seriously, dude. I mean,
they don't.
I don't know, man. They
They're a
don't,
fun
man.
team to watch, but they're not serious, And then
Yeah.
Pacers are Pacers. Bucks are just a catastrophe right now. They should be way better than they really are, but they're not.
What do you think about the Kuzma acquisition, man, to Bucks? I think that's gonna maybe pay off here and there, but
It's better than having Middleton just being
yeah,
injured nonstop, right?
yeah.
I guess it's something they had to get. They had to get younger. They had to get more athletic. And which they did. As long as they don't depend on Kuzma to give you consistent 20 points, then they're okay
Because
because
one day he'll give you 15, another day he'll give you 2.
exactly, and he'll make some
So
boneheaded
it's like on and
turnovers.
off, and
Yeah.
so oh man. And then another thing I want to say is today I went to the game, right? Wizards versus Spurs, and because I'm in DC currently for work, and
Yeah.
so I do want to say, if this player stays healthy, if it's a big damn question, dude. If he stays healthy, I think he's gonna be the best player in 2 years.
Wembanyama?
Wembanyama, man, Victor, he's
Something else,
unstoppable,
huh?
man. He's
He's something
unstoppable.
else.
I saw him live, man. If he stays healthy, Tapas,
Yeah.
he's very skinny, very skinny.
Yeah.
And Yao Ming was skinny like this. A lot of people were skinny, man.
But he's like Kevin Durant, but taller. Like much taller.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, exactly. This guy's gonna be unstoppable in 2 years. Like, this guy's gonna be scary. And
You know what he should do is I think he should work out with Giannis. Because you remember Giannis, he came to the league, he was skinny too.
yeah,
Skinny, long bones, all that kind of stuff. And then just like 2 years in, just ripped.
yeah.
Completely ripped.
And the only thing I feel bad that he's playing in a small market in Spurs.
Mm.
People don't really see who he really is, right? He should leave that market, man. And dude, this guy, if he goes to like New York, LA, man.
I mean, they did give him some good players. They just got D-Fox. I mean, De'Aaron Fox,
I know, man,
right?
but
Chris
like
Paul
this guy,
as mentor.
he's not, dude. He put up 31 points today, and such an easy
Yeah.
31 points. I mean, yeah, granted it was Washington Wizards, but like the thing is this: I don't care about the points. I care about the way he plays and the way he moves. He moves like freaking John Morant.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he shoots like freaking Steph Curry. Like this guy, he can shoot 3-pointers
Yeah.
that you don't even think he's 7'3". He shoots like Steph Curry, like he was 6'4". Like
Yeah.
I
He's a
don't know,
7'3" guard. Like
dude, how do you
point
do
guard.
that, man? He dribbles.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he doesn't dribble. When he dribbles, it's not uncomfortable. It's
Right.
so natural, and like
He's like
he
one of
has
those
moves like
players you create in NBA 2K, like like a 7-foot point guard that can shoot threes and like no one can block him. He's literally that person in real life. But at the same time, he's averaging 3.9 blocks per game. So he's defensively doing a great job, offensively double. Like
bro. In 2 years,
he's
man,
generational, man.
happens. In 2 years, this guy's gonna be on. If he stays
He's just
healthy,
if
he
he's gotta get
stays
his body
healthy,
right.
dude.
Yeah.
This guy, I'll tell you, if Victor stays healthy, and I know I'm going off the limb. If Victor stays healthy, you'll need to put him in top 3 all time.
All time?
All time.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
If he stays healthy,
This
you're
kid's gonna
booting.
have
Look.
a
Everyone knows
long
Jordan's.
career,
You already know
man.
Jordan's up there. You're booting
LeBron's
either
there.
LeBron or Kobe off that list. I'm
Right.
telling you, man.
This
This guy is gifted. Like, dude, he's definitely a unicorn.
Yeah,
I'm telling
no.
you, Tapas, this guy, he hasn't even scraped the surface yet, man. This guy is so good. Like, he's so talented. Like, he's so raw potential still, man. He's only, what, 21? 22? Whatever the hell he is, man. He might not even be 20.
Yeah, 21.
But, dude, this guy hasn't even, like, like fully like developed yet, man, into a young man body yet. He doesn't even have a young man bone yet, man. He has such a young kid bone.
He will
Imagine
have
if
to
he
be
buffs
one
up.
of one, though.
Imagine if he buffs up.
Yeah,
and he becomes stronger.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is gonna stop him? I'll tell you right. Okay, fine. How about this? Fine, not top 3. I'll tell you right now. If he stays healthy, and this is really far. If he stays healthy, he will go as, if not the best, number 1. He'll be in the top 3 big men ever to play this game.
Top 3 big men. Okay,
Ever.
I can see that.
Ever to play this game.
I can see that.
If not the best, top 3.
He's gonna win championships, though, man. Yeah, I don't know if he wins in San Antonio, though.
Tapas, he will. You know why? No one's gonna stop him. No one's gonna stop him.
He's gotta get tough.
No one's gonna stop him.
He's
man.
gotta get tough. He's gotta get ripped. Put some
I know,
muscle on.
Dude, this guy, even without being ripped, he's like
I know. He's finesse right now. He's all finesse.
This as a big man have that type of moves, offensive skills.
Man. Yeah. The only thing I worry about with how tall he is that, like, and especially the way he plays, right? He plays like a guard. Like, we've never seen a big man with his height. You know, we see Kevin Durant. He's like, what, 6'11", I think, right?
Yeah.
And Giannis a little bit, but like, now 7'3".
Package, though. They're not.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Giannis not complete package.
Like, he would have to really take care of his body, man. He, of all people, need like LeBron in his life. Like, he should hire LeBron as a personal trainer after LeBron retires. Pay him all the money he wants.
If I'm San Antonio, dude, I'll make the same trade that Dallas did with the Lakers and just ship them too. I'm just kidding. Everyone will die if that's the case. They will. NBA will definitely throw a riot there, dude. Oh man. But honestly, this guy, I tapped on today. I know it's a small sample size and it's against the Wizards, but forget about the the stats. But the way he plays, man, I don't know how you're gonna stop him, man. This guy
no, he looks unstoppable. Honestly, I remember watching a few of his games. Like, he looks unstoppable.
His jumper is
the NBA is in
swish.
trouble.
His jumper is sweet, dude. Like,
and I think if the Kings surround him with good core talent, not Kings, sorry, Spurs. They'll be all right.
He needs to leave San Antonio, man. I'm telling you.
Are you there?
He needs to leave San Antonio, man. He needs to not be with the Spurs. Go to big market. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Tapas? Hello?
Lost him. Well, he is joining again, guys. Again, remember to subscribe to this podcast. We are here every week breaking down. Probably now will be the NBA until baseball comes around. But now with the trade deadline, NBA is in full effect. They are absolutely killing it with these trades that we just had. I feel like there's a huge shift in momentum. Lakers are much more exciting for me personally because I was not a big fan of how we were playing with the team that we had. But now that we have a future, this is what I really wanted out of Lakers, and we got the move. So it'll be a lot of fun. And then I do believe that the Warriors will get better. In the West, I do think the Houston Rockets will probably fall off a little bit. In the East, it'll probably stay the same with Cavaliers and Boston. I think the only team that really has anything against Boston will be Cavaliers, and that's probably where the East will be won. But we'll see. All right, guys. Well, with that, we will end it here. We just wrapped up the football season. We are on to the NBA season finally. And we have a lot of exciting stuff happening because we have all these trades happening and the Lakers are back, all these things. We will keep you guys updated on a weekly basis. Until then, Brown Balls out.
Peace.